She has a powerful voice and she's not afraid to use it. Next. My guest today is an amazing singer, songwriter, and community cultivator who uses her voice to the fullest expression. She is a speaker and has led and served on panels for the NAACP, the Recording Academy, and the Unique Women's Coalition. And I'm excited that she's here today to share some insight with us. Welcome to Transcend. It's the beautiful, Neverending Nina. Welcome, sis.
Thank you so much. Glad to be in the space.
I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited to have Nina here with us today. Honestly, I have seen this woman around so many times, and I would see each other in passing, and we did a project together with The Cut, and I honestly did not even know that she was one of my trans sisters. I was under the assumption that this was a full-on, tall, vivacious, gorgeous cis woman, and I found out that, she was one of the girls. And I gagged. I really did, Nina. I honestly gagged. I had no idea. And that kind of takes me into the conversation now in terms of my friends, my people, in all honesty, they see me as a woman, but I am not in denial with myself. I'm from the ballroom scene. So we all know the categories of realness and face and body and sex siren, blah, blah, blah. And I always knew, starting my transition late, I was never in denial of the fact that I knew that I was not one of the, as society would say, one of the passable girls. The passable means you cannot tell if this is a trans woman or a trans man. So my question to you, for someone from the outside looking in, you look like complete fish. Would you say that there's a difference, or the journey is easier or more challenging for women that may not be as passable, or for women that are passable? Is there a difference to you?
I mean, I always center it, and thank you. I always say that with great power comes great responsibility. And so for me, how I was raised, is that wasn't the center of my existence. And so that let me see everyone in the spectrum accordingly. And so with respect, just because I was able to get through, that means I'm keeping the door open for everybody else who might have a harder time to get through. So that's always been in my mental of how I show up, because I'm just not going to be the one to get through and then close the door behind me. And so, like I said before, I've always recognized that my place of privilege, but still using that for the advantage for everyone in that space and for my community.
What are your thoughts on today's trans women opposed to the old girls? I mean, I grew up in a time with some of the older divas, and as I was taught to always respect my elders, it applies the same for the women that have come before me and that have paved the way. Would you say that there's a difference between the two today?
I think because the balance, not even the balance, it is a balance of respectability, because now we have more access. And so, we would need a good auntie or a good community leader to help us, guide us, and navigate us. Now, thankfully, in the year 2021, if I recognize and realize that I am of the transgender spectrum, I can easily access my laptop. I can easily access my phone. I can easily access anything to discover who I am. And so I think that might be the missing component, far as some of the disrespect sometimes when navigating the OGs of the community.
Let's talk about it.
Come on, because I think that's the natural balance of when you look to somebody, or when you, that magical moment, or when you just minding your business and you see this glamazon walking down the street, and you're like, well, what is that? And so it causes you to do your own research or get into the community, whether it be pageant, ballroom, club, any type of social structure, depending on and representing the LGBTQIA plus community, particularly trans. That's a space where then you can cultivate how you want to show up, how you navigate and talk to community. And so I think that's the thing that, although I'm grateful for that, yes, in the year 2021, we have all these advancements, but I think we also have to balance the actual camaraderie and community aspect so the two and two can be a duality in existence.
Beautifully said. And it is for me. I'm so big on respect. I'm not saying that you have to go out of your way to pay homage to the girls that have come before you, but I do think that there is a certain level of respect that should be held when it comes to the OGs, because the OGs, like you said, it's so different now in terms of access, in terms of social media.
Yes,
The girls in the day, back in the day, they went through so much just to be visible. They went through so much just to exist in the space that they do. So it's like, I think that respect is very big.
yes.
What challenges have you faced being a beautiful Black trans woman?
Thinking that sometimes you are untouchable, far as just not allowing people to have access to you, or thinking that you might be, you think too much of yourself. And so I think for me, leading organically with the notion of that I'm your home girl. I'm cool. And it's like when you get to know me, if you get 2 minutes by me, if you get 5 minutes around me, you'll see, oh no, like, okay, I can understand the beauty, I can understand all of those things, the physicality of it all, but yo, that spirit, that energy, that's what is most attractive and I recognize for me. So I think sometimes the trials is navigating the space with people who are not authentic like that. And so that's some of my issues that how I face in this world.
I love that you started from within. I love that you didn't make it about the external challenges. And for me in my journey of being positive, it was for me also too, like more of the internal than it was the
Yes,
external, because
yes,
it all starts from within, and at times our outer and our external reality is only a mirror reflection of what's going on internally. So regardless to not to say that it's unfortunate that a lot of trans women disproportionately go through the hardships and the evilness of the world, but I do feel that it also, aside from that there's a lot that goes on within our inner world that kind of like brings about this chaos. So I love that you said from within.
yeah, it starts from within because that means no one can take it from you. And so a lot of us in our universal journey, you had to make that decision to say, I'm going to go on this journey of exploration. I'm going to figure out what is this thing that makes me, I'm not this, I'm not quite this. I think I'm right here in the middle, maybe to the right or left, but I'm right there. And so deciding that for your own self will make you know that no one can take that from you when you finally get to that understanding of saying, hey, I'm a trans woman. Hey, I'm a Black, powerful trans woman. Hey, I'm a powerful Black trans man. Like, knowing that allows you to navigate any space more truthfully. And then you know that no matter what somebody tells you, that's their stuff, not yours, because you've already done the work to navigate fully in your full autonomy, in your full authenticity. And so I think that's the one thing I must say about our community is that no matter what, even though we might have our inner dialogues and the things that we might go through, but we still have this concrete understanding of saying, this is how I'm going to show up in the world for my existence. And
Showing
so
up
I
and taking
showing
space.
up, taking space and doing what I need to do.
And speaking of navigating, how has your journey been navigating the music industry as an artist and member of the LGBTQ and queer community?
I tell everyone is that I'm grateful for my upbringing, for as cultivating my talent. that was a given. And so now it's navigating the business, the industry, the entertainment aspect of it. And so that I didn't have a lot of, if we're going specific, I didn't have a black trans woman who was navigating the music industry as a blueprint. I didn't know of any in that space. I knew androgyny. I knew, some drag queens. I knew some, gay males. I knew some gay feminine artists or androgynous artists, but I never fully had that example. And so I think that's the newness and the freshness of discovering and navigating in this space is that it's yours of what it's you make it whatever you want it to be. And so that's been the journey going into spaces, them recognizing talent, and then they say, oh, well, you know what? You're trans. So I don't know if they're ready for that yet. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you told me. Or the opposite is that we get in studio, we work, but then they, I guess, have a come to Jesus moment and saying, well, I don't know if my brand can work well with how you show up. And I'm like, wow.
What about me showing up with my talent?
Particularly in our field, particularly in entertainment, is that we know that it's a biased viewpoint because men have always been at the center of what goes and stays. And so having to navigate with this fierceness of I'm a femme, like, so I want everything femme around me. And so I want to make sure that when I'm navigating in this space that I'm bringing everybody with me who didn't have an opportunity or don't have a chance.
But see, not everyone is like you because we have a lot of gatekeepers. Not everyone wants to bring everyone on and bring everyone to be a part of it. So what has dating for you been like?
I'm sorry. You played in my face. No, I so that goes back to like when you asked about navigating. And so in the fullness of who I am, it's like I know I have standards and I know that I've come a long way and far of knowing what I want around me. And so yes, I could pull any and everything that just wants me just for my physical. And so a lot of us as the universal experience, we know how that feeling is. For some might be cool with it, but I don't want to get poked and prodded just on my physicality. I want to feel the substance of this person saying, I want to be around you. I want to grow with you. I want to take you out. I want to show you to my family. I want to show you to my friends. I want to show you to the world.
Exactly.
And so that's what really tied into me creating my single, That One, because when you listen to That One, which is available on all streaming platforms, Neverending That One, you can hear in the lyrical content of what I want for a significant other. So I haven't had a lot of dating experience because I know as a black trans woman, you don't get a lot of opportunities to show up in this.
Listen, that's a whole nother show and a whole nother topic. I think we need to come back and revisit that. On another note, before we go really, really quick, who is your biggest and favorite artist, inspiration, singer, songwriter? Really quick.
Brandy.
Before we go, please take us out of here with some of your delicious notes.
Sure. Prince Charming, we all know this fairy tales. But what I need is a man determined not to fail. Give me a king who knows how to rule his domain. 'Cause his heart will be the place I'll always remain if I had that one.
What a voice, what a voice. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here today, Nina, dropping that knowledge and giving us a taste of that beautiful instrument.
Yes.
So much love for you. To watch this episode again or for more stories like these, check out our website at pluslifemedia.com and also make sure to follow us at pluslifemedia. Until next time, speak up, speak out, and share your voice with the world.